So in this video, this is going to be for skills demo 11, and in this skills demo it's a basic introduction to sheet metal, the sheet metal function on SolidWorks. So let's get started. So in this I'm just going to draw up a sort of a random path that's going to introduce the different functions in sheet metal, and then obviously you're going to add it into the portfolio of the different parts. So you're going to make a 2D drawing of it using the template we created. So as you can see, I have the sheet metal option here, where we usually have features and sketch and all the other options. So how did I get that up? So if we right click on any of these, you'll see it gives you the option of which ones we want to actually show on that tab. So for example, I can click this tick here and sheet metals will disappear, and if I want it back I can just hit the tick and there it is back. So that's how you get it up. You can also get it through up here on this tab, but it's easy just to have it pop up here. So the first thing we want to do is I want to draw on the top plane and let's just draw a center rectangle. Okay, and I want to just get that normal too. So just in the top plane I drew a rectangle. And the next thing we can do is I just got a line there, and one here. We can create that there. And we can also mirror that over. So if we get center, so I want that same sort of bracket coming out on the other side. So I just drew a center line and go mirror entities. So entities to mirror, I wanted 3 of these, and mirror about this center line here, and then it'll pop over here. Okay, so let's smart dimension this rectangle. So we have it at 90 here, so I'm going to change this to 75, and I'm going to change the length to 100. Okay, now the next thing is dimensioning this here. So let's make this 15. And the distance between them, we can make that, let's make it 12. Okay, let's do that up here. So let me just double check. I made it 15 and 12. So smart dimension 15, and this should be 12 because it's mirrored over. Because it mirrored over and I dimensioned those parts, it should pick up the same. Yeah, so I'm getting the radius there 6, so that's grand. What I want to do though is have them all in line. So how I'm going to do that is I need to deselect smart dimension. So choose the center point here, center point, hold and control, sorry, so center point, clicked on this, and then I want this here. And I want to make them vertical, and therefore they're all in line like that. Now what we can do is trim this line here so it's a total piece, so it's power trim that's on here, and I'll come over and trim this small line here. Okay, and I can get rid of that construction line as well. I'll actually leave it there just to leave the drawing fully defined, like so. Because there's relations going off it, I'll leave it in place. So now we have that sketch completed, and just exiting out of it. We can go to our sheet metal option and we'll click on base flange. And this essentially is making your sheet metal parameters, so how thick it's going to be. And for this one here, let's leave it, I might create it 1.5 mil thick. Okay, and the K factor from bend allowance, we don't need to alter that. Okay, so that's good. And now you'll see it'll look like a sheet of material of aluminium or steel. Okay, so we're in the sheet metal tab here, and we have all these different options. So I want to try and introduce some of them now. So this first one here, edge flange, it adds a wall to an edge. So let's choose it here. And essentially what it wants us to do is pick an area where we want to put up a wall or a bend. So if we click on this edge here, you'll see I'm getting the option of getting this bend or wall extending up. So define radius. So as you can see at the moment, the bend radius is very low. So I want to make that to 2 mil. So you can see a lot more clearly there. So you can change this as well. The degrees, it's at 90 degrees. I'm going to leave it at 90 degrees, but you're able to alter that so you can go full 360 back around, or whatever it is, how many degrees you need depending on the part you're making. But here we're just going to leave it at 90 degrees. And then blind, so this is the thickness we're going up, and let's put that at 30. Okay, so as you can see, that's been added on. So let's do the same on the other side. So we're doing this edge flange and selecting it, drag it up like that. I want to change the radius again to 2, and then finally the length of it is 30. Okay, and we can hit select on that, save that. Okay, so this is our part so far. So the part I'm going to make here is just basically going to be like a little bracket or something that you might find in on a component. So let's add another edge that's going to extend down, that we'll be able to screw this on to a table or something, or onto a wall. It can be used as a bracket. So I'm extending this one out. Again, I want to change my radius to 2, and I'll put the length to 25 this time. And we can do the same again, so edge, extend it out like so. So 2 mil. And I believe it was 25. Let's save that. Okay, so let's add a couple of holes into this. This is the next thing. So let's go to sketch here, and I want to sketch on this plane first of all. So let's place a hole here and over here. It's just highlighting that as the center, and we can dimension this here. So let's leave it diameter 5. Okay. And what we can do is just select this, hold on control. We'll scroll over to the other circle I drew. We'll make them equal. So we can extrude cut this now. extrude cut and up to next. Okay, so next I want to sketch on, I want to put a hole here and here. So I'm just going to show one and then I'm going to pause and do the next one myself so it doesn't add on to, so this video isn't too long. So I've selected this area. This is where I want to sketch this surface, and I want to pick up the center. Center line. There's the center there. We can drag this across to meet escape. And I'm choosing a circle here. One over here. So adding this dimension in, so let's make this, let's make it 10. And we can add the dimension over here as well. This is going to be 10. And then I just want to dimension one of these holes. So let's make this 5. And like I did previously, we're going to select this one, holding on control, and we're going to make these equal. Okay. So I'm going to do the same here, so I can extrude cut this now. Up to next. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on the other side here now. So what I've done is just add those 2 holes here. So the next thing is I want to bend up these 2 brackets on either side. So let's sketch, and we'll put a line across. So I want to draw on this surface and pick up this point over to here. Features, and how we're going to do this bend is this option here, sketch bend. Okay, so bend parameters, so we're going to click on this, and I want these to highlight up, so if do this. So I was just getting confused there. So I drew the lines and I was in sketch bend, and what I wanted to highlight here was bend outside. I was choosing the wrong one, and if we click on this, this should bend up like so. Okay, so that was that sketch bend option. So we've used the edge flange, so let's try out this hem. So this curls edges of sheet metal part. Okay, so let's do it on one of these edges here. What I want to do is choose here, and we can put this little round on it. So we can edit this in terms of length. So how far we'd want it to bend down. So I'm going to leave it where it is, like that. And we can, we're going to be using it perhaps in the project as options. So I just want to make you aware of it. So that puts that curve on it. Okay. This option here, jogs, adds 2 bends from a sketch line. So essentially, if you were to draw 2 lines here, we would bend it one after the other. We have corners here, so let's add use this corner option. So we have welded corner, so we'll be going into that with weldments. But this is this break corner option. So I just want to give an example of it. So if we go to this corner over here, I have it set to 5. And let's click that there. So we'll show that little corner of it. And let's use a different corner over here. We can use the rounded one. So it's almost like the fillet tool. 5mm again. So this is basically the part finished now. I'll just add a material onto it. But what this was just a brief introduction for this skills demo into sheet metal, because you may want to use it for the project, so I felt it was necessary to introduce it. Let's go to appearances here, and we can go to metal, aluminium. We'll choose this polished aluminium. So it's coming up ever so slightly in terms of the graphics card. It mightn't come up too well, but that's that polished aluminium. So you can add whatever color you want, or perhaps you want to go with a different type plastic or something else. But this will be added into your skills demo, so you'll be making a 2D drawing of this as well. Another option in this sheet metal is the flattening. So when you click this here, you can actually see what this part is going to look like when it's flattened out. So for example, this is it here, completely flattened out. So obviously the bends are these lines here, and for this we had that curve coming around. So that's this skills demo completed then, and this was an introduction to the sheet metal function on SolidWorks. Thank you.